Hello and welcome to the UAM E1 World Championship presented by PIF, and it's the beautiful coast of Croatia playing backdrop for round 3 of the all-electric powerboat racing series. 9 teams all primed for battle here at the E1 Dubrovnik GP 2025 presented by Adriatic Luxury Hotels. It is race day today and all the teams are ready for the 8 head-to-heads coming up during the day for each team of 2 pilots, 1 female and 1 male. Team Rafa and Aoki Racing are the championship front runners, a win apiece so far this season, and they were first and second in Doha last time out. Foil to foil, win to win, what a performance from the Spaniard.
I think we were determined to win. That is our mindset all the time.
Danny Kloss has taken it, they're level, neck and neck. This is the best E1 racing we have seen.
This is wild out there. Now it's spectacular.
Owen Duncan and Michael Wilkinson collect the trophy for 3rd place, the first podium of the year for Didier Drogba's team. Danny Kloss is going to come home 2nd.
Vamos! Really good job.
I'm extremely proud. It's all about teamwork. Danny really did a spectacular job. From lane 5, he pushed till 2, and amazing. So you guys got us a podium.
Right now we're in a cloud, you know, and it's a P2 that feels like a P1 really. And I'm so happy for Team Rafa, but we are there. And you know, beware of the dragon, you know, yeah, that's what we say.
That's the 2nd race, and we're looking forward for the 3rd, you know, to take the lesson learned from here and just push there as well.
Game, set, and match for Christina Lassaraga.
What a day, like the team making incredible job and our first win.
This is where we deserve to be, and this is where we are. It's a teamwork. It's not only about this weekend. Since the last year, we've been looking for this win. And I want to say thank you to Tom, to Philip, to all the team, because this win, without them, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you.
So it was an emotional maiden victory for Team Rafa in Doha, the first event in E1 history where a team had been fastest in the time trials, won the qualifying race and then won the GP, as well as taking the fastest lap. Could they do it here in Dubrovnik? Well, here you saw Tom Schaap fastest in the qualifying time trials, a stunning hot lap from him. However, despite having the inside line for the qualifying race, it was Team Alula's Rusty Wyatt who took charge. From lane 4 in that qualifying race, he held off a late charge from Team Rafa, and just like team owner LeBron James, took the 3-pointer with aplomb. Superb drive from the Canadian. Katie Munnings on the launch zone, absolutely delighted with that. A single point also for Aoki Racing, but the 3 points and top qualifier trophy going to Team Alula, championed by LeBron James. Rusty Wyatt holding aloft the trophy. And of course, they take the 3 points with that victory in the qualifying race. They take the pole position as well, and this is how the championship now sits ahead of race day here in Dubrovnik. Rafa took 2 points to extend their lead over Aoki Racing to 4, 74 place 70. In 3rd, Westbrook Racing. Sarah Price and Lucas Ordonez still sit in 3rd. They were 7th in qualifying yesterday. Blue Rising 4th and Team Brady in 5th. And there you can see Team Alula move ahead of Team Miami onto 21 and Team Brazil bringing up the rear. These are live shots then down at the launch zone, just on the edge of the UNESCO World Heritage Site of the old town of Dubrovnik. Beautiful crystal clear blue turquoise waters that we've got. Look at that setting for the racing that we've got coming up. As I said, we have 8 separate races coming up. We have our group stages first of all, though, with some of the top teams heading out there. And Shelley Jory-Lee, I am pleased to say, is alongside me. A powerboat legend in her own right, who is going to be alongside. And as we can see just from these onboard shots, it's still a little bit choppy out there.
The water is very deceiving here in Dubrovnik. It's actually quite turbulent and there's an awful lot of traffic around. We've got a lot of tourist boats out there. We've got ferries going back and forwards. And it really does upset the race course for them and make some pretty exciting action.
Team Brady in the water already. We've got Sam Coleman in there ready to go. Looked good yesterday actually, Sam. Just a few fine-tuning moments for him and the team. But as you can see, just even sat in the boat there, ready for this first of our group stage races. Tense times for the teams. You can see the kind of boats that there are around the marina here in Dubrovnik. So we have our group stages to come. First of all, as you can see, how they feature in these group stages will then decide the positions for the Group Stage B races. It's alternate pilots, so the pilots that are in now will then be in the boats for that second part of the group stage later on. So much is up for grabs here today. No better backdrop though, and here on the Adriatic coast of Dubrovnik. So we are getting ready now for our first group race here at the E1 Dubrovnik GP, and in the water you can see the pole position holders from yesterday. Katie Munnings is in the Racebird for Team Alula. Lovely time being had by all as well up there in the Ocean Club. Early for a gin and tonic, but why not? This time it's just past 12:30 here, local time in Croatia. Shelley, you look like the sort of person who'd love that kind of thing. You approve?
I'd certainly approve.
This is the medieval city of Dubrovnik then, which is our picture postcard backdrop, and this is our lineup that we've got for our group stage 1A, the grid. So the fastest team yesterday, Team Alula, they will be in pole position and they will have the inside lane. Right on the outside, however, let's start out there with Micah Wilkinson. He is a bronze medal Olympic sailor and had a tough day actually, Brogba, yesterday. I reckon a few changes overnight though to their setup, and every chance, even from lane 4, we saw races 1 from there yesterday. So it is not all done. A couple of penalties come in yesterday for Team Blue Rising and John Peters. It's Jamaican Sarah Mizir though who is inside the Racebird for this race. They were 5th quickest yesterday. So still a chance for any of these pilots to make it through into the finals later on this afternoon. Sam Coleman, reigning world champions of course, Tom Brady's squad, Sam and Emma Kimilainen. They were 4th in the qualifying race. He is a vastly experienced powerboat racer from Wales, and from 2nd on the lineup down to turn 1 will be very hopeful of securing a good spot in the second part of the group stage races. But it's Katie Munnings who will have that pole position, the inside line, and the strategy was so key yesterday in those qualifying races. Who can get down to the first turn smart mark before anyone else? And that's the job ahead of them. They will head off from the start line, Shelley, and it looks here all nice and calm, doesn't it? And like it'll be an easy run. The course itself, fairly simple, isn't it? However, lots to contend with when we actually go racing today.
The course is fairly simple, but as always in the E1 series, we add in a short lap and a long lap. And trust me, that really messes the positions up. It's very strategic of when you take them, and you can win or lose a race.
Yeah, we'll get a good idea, won't we, in these group races of just who has got the running right, who has worked out the strategy for the day ahead with those short and long laps. Oh, you just saw coming off the boost there, Katie Munnings ever so slightly, and that could give Sam Coleman the edge down towards turn 1. Katie Munnings just hasn't quite got it up on the foils and flying enough, and it's going to be Sam Coleman for Team Brady who's going to take the inside line. Now, Katie Munnings should be okay to get through there. On the outside, Micah Wilkinson, they are wing to wing between Team Blue Rising and Team Drogba. We're on here now with Katie Katie Munnings. Has she got some boost? She needs to get on it to try and get down to the second smart mark, but Sarah Mizier has gone past her. Is there enough room there now for Katie Munnings? I think Micah Wilkinson has done just about all right, but a great start from Sam Coleman, a great start from Sarah Mizier, and Katie Munnings just couldn't get it sat up on the foils.
No, and she was also squashed into that corner, which didn't help her, but everyone played nice and everyone gave each other room, which is a good thing after yesterday.
Absolutely, we had so much foil to foil, wing to wing action from the boats out there yesterday. There was a bit of damage to a couple of the boats, but look for Team Blue Rising and Sarah Mizier, whatever they've done, it seems to have worked. As Team Brady and Sam Coleman come out of the final corner. Now Katie Munnings, oh, she's collided with the smart mark on the inside, and it's been knocked off its perch as that smart mark, thankfully, unlike in Doha and Team Brazil, it's not wedged underneath the boat.
No, she was lucky there. She just tapped it with her foil. It's fallen over, but as we know, these smart marks, they can replace them instantly, which is so clever. They're set by GPS position.
My worry was they've taken the shroud off the top of it. I just saw that when she collected it, so that'll be interesting for Race Direction to have a look at it. We ride on board there with Sarah Mizier as we have a look now to see, and Sam Coleman has gone for the short lap already. So Sam Coleman has put his short lap in. You can see him top of your screens now. He's cut through on that short lap, which, you know, cuts out a whole loop. Meanwhile, at the top of your picture, Sarah Mizier has gone and taken the long lap early on, and followed by Micah Wilkinson. This is where strategy is, because suddenly, as through that final corner, you can see the poor old smart mark has had a thwack from Katie Munnings on its side. But this is where it gets interesting, because now Blue Rising and Drogba, third and fourth on the course, have taken their long lap, but are in a bit of wash.
Sam for Team Brady there has done an absolute strategic gem. His team have really put him in the lead there. That's what I would have done, taken the short lap. He's gained his distance in front. He's in clean water. Now he wants to get as far ahead as he can, so he's got time to take his long lap. Good move, Team Brady.
There he is. I wondered now if he will go for the long lap straight away with such a big gap behind him. We'll see as he heads round. He's probably going to save that right to the end, because he goes round turn 2 and doesn't go for the further smart marks, those green marks that denote the long lap loop. So he just continues on the standard course now.
We've got a great graphic now. We can see the RPM, we can see the trim of where he is, we can even see his steering angle. Back to the map course here. Who is going to do what? I think everyone's on a normal lap at the moment by the looks of it.
Yeah, Katie Munnings coming round the second turn. Meanwhile, you can see at the bottom of your screens, there is Sam Coleman for Team Brady. This is a great job for them, given the prime spot of getting through into that final later on. But Brady from fourth yesterday, now leading in this Group Stage 1 race. There is Katie Munnings. Seems to have recovered a little bit, actually, from that start where, as you say, she got squeezed. She's just put in the fastest first sector, actually, of anyone so far. So that's good news for Katie.
It didn't actually lose her any time. She did hit the mark, and I think there may be a small penalty for that, but it didn't lose her any positions, which was good. She's done her long lap. On board with Sam, looking as cool as a cucumber.
He's just like he's out for a little bit of a, you know, a Sunday drive here. Yes, it is Saturday afternoon, but he is calm as anything. And is he going to go for the long lap? Yeah, I think he might have gone out to the long lap, and he has. There's enough of a gap behind, so Sam Coleman now, while he's got that big gap behind him, the gap between himself and Katie Munnings stood at 27 seconds. And so he just felt, right, I'm going to go for the long lap, and it's worked to perfection. They are now the leaders on the course, and they have completed everything.
Beautifully timed that was. Great correspondence from his mission control. That was a perfect team effort, I have to say.
Right, got to keep an eye out for anyone else. Now it looks like Micah Wilkinson is going for the short lap. There you can see for Team Drogba. So already having done the long lap, he's now taking advantage of doing that short lap to move himself on course ahead of Sarah Mizier and Team Blue Rising. That's Virat Kohli's squad now at the back of the field. However, Sarah has done her long lap. She has got a short lap to employ. So this is going to be tight, isn't it, between Blue Rising and Drogba?
It's also tight between Alula as well, because Alula's got to do their long lap. So Yes, Team Drogba could have done a nice move there. Nice move.
Our predictor, bottom right of your screen, still thinks Team Blue Rising have enough, but we shall see, because Michael Wilkinson is closing a little bit on Alula. A reminder that Katie Munnings still has to do the long lap and the short lap by our reckoning. So 2 laps remaining. She's going to have to do one or the other right here, right now. Which one does she go for LeBron James' squad? At the front, Team Brady, they look comfortable. Without any disaster. Yep, short lap coming in for Alula. There we are. Katie Munnings takes it. So she still has the long lap to perform right at the end of this race. But as you can see, Sam Coleman is going to comfortably win this one. He's got another lap to go after this, but comfortably out front. The question is, who will be where? Team Blue Rising, Shelley, on their short lap, and that puts them back ahead of Michael Wilkinson and Team Drogba. And so, just as the predictor said,
yeah,
back in front.
But Team Alula taking their long lap on the very last moment when you're not in the lead is a strange strategy, but maybe they know something I don't.
Yeah, real shame for them, won't it, with Team Alula having been in pole position, and then they'll now be back in fourth. But as we saw, lane 4 for Rusty Wyatt worked all right for him yesterday, didn't it? Because I know they're second on the course at the moment, as I see, but they have the long lap loop to perform. Where will they come out when they go through it? We're on board with Team Brady. Final lap to go. Just 3/4 still remaining of this race, of this last lap, and he is just having a comfortable time out there. The short lap is about a 1:08, 1:07 actually for Sarah Mizier. So you do save 10, 12 seconds. The long lap itself is a lot more, as you can see, with Katie Munnings right out there on the long lap, as she had to do. That's going to promote Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising and Sarah Mizier up into second place. And it looks like, depending on this rejoin now between Alula, that's going to be tight, isn't it, between Alula and Drogba for third place. We'll keep a close eye on it.
Yeah, that's tight. That's I'd want a discussion when we get back.
It is side by side for those between in third place. Drogba have the inside line. Across the line, Team Brady and Sam Coleman are going to take victory in the first of our group stage races. Blue Rising rounding the final smart mark that isn't quite there. Alula and Katie Munnings trying to go around the outside. There's no smart mark, unfortunately, for Team Drogba to come through, and so Michael Wilkinson and Alula, it's going to be a run to the line. Sarah Mizier takes Team Blue Rising second place, and it looks like Michael Wilkinson is going to steal third place from Katie Munnings. It just went wrong, really, from the first run down to turn 1, didn't it? Because she just couldn't quite have it up on the foils, and that cost her a position, cost her another position then out towards turn 2. And Sam Coleman, that is a job well done.
Yeah, he controlled the race right from the start there, Team Brady. But Team Alula, I want to say that was a bad strategic plan of those ways she took her short lap and long lap. I think that needs a bit of a discussion for the team to get that right next time.
There's still time to turn it all around for Katie Munnings as she puffs out her cheeks. Frustration there, but delight, I'm sure, for Sam Coleman. We'll see if we can have a word down in the cockpit. Sam, that was a strategic masterpiece, pulled it out of the bag, take the victory in the first of the group stage race. Confident now, heading forward for the rest of the day?
Yeah, hey, really happy with how that was managed, and obviously we made it easy for ourselves with a solid start and good information from the team on when to take the short and long laps and gaps behind, so still tricky conditions but a good foundation for the day.
Well done, Sam. Get that back to the launch zone. And he will then hand over the reins to Emma Kimilainen, who actually, during the qualifying time trials, was quicker than Sam, wasn't she, in those yesterday? So it will be interesting when he hands over the cockpit. Now let's see if we can have a word down with Sarah Mizier. Sarah, another brilliant performance there. That was a tough first lap, and then the strategy worked, because at one point you were right at the back of the field, eventually coming home and coming through in second.
let me tell you, that first corner was very spicy. Saw Lula on my inside, Drogba on my outside. We're all very, very close, foil to foil, and thankfully I had enough boost left where I could pull myself out of it and get enough control of the boat where I didn't hit anyone. So I'm very happy for that. It was a good, clean race, and I enjoyed it.
We love spicy. Thanks, Sarah. That was, I love that, described as spicy. Good job for Team Blue Rising and Virat Kohli. She turns up on race day, doesn't she, Shelley?
She certainly does. She just pulls it out of the bag from nowhere, and she's quite new. She's a quite new kid on the block.
Let's see if we can get a word with Micah down there in the cockpit. How do you find that one? It was tight, wasn't it, in turn one, on that first lap, and then it all came about strategy.
She's all go in that first corner. Loving these new rules with the mark in the middle there. It makes a lot of sense. I was probably a little bit too conservative, but that's all right. I overlook at the off-boards and see how it went, but no, I certainly looked better than yesterday, and see if we can crack on for the afternoon.
Good job from Michael Wilkinson down there. He pulls it home in third, so again has pulled up a spot for the second group stage race. Do you enjoy that one? That got you ready for the day? It's almost better than the gin and tonic.
That has really set me up for the day, because I love that, because we had sort of so much going on. We had perfect strategy from Team Brady. You know, poor Alula, I feel so sorry for them, because they just dominated the qualifying yesterday. So yeah, it's really opened everything up again. As we say, everything changes in the E1 series.
And as we know, it could all change again in the second of the group stage races to come. This was the start, wasn't it? So they see Team Brady ahead. Katie Munnings on the right-hand side, on the inside lane. And actually, she's coming at this point, isn't she? She's actually arriving.
Well, they actually look that all of them are so equal as they cross that start-finish line. It was a good start from everybody, and then she just seems to lose the power after the finish line.
Yeah, so just after the start, it just dropped off the foils, the knit for her. She does actually, Katie Munnings, have that and turns beautifully. But as she does so, you just all got squeezed, isn't it? All the way through. You can't take the long or short lap on the first lap.
Considering she was on the inside there, she actually cornered that Racebird beautifully. She didn't have anywhere to go. She couldn't move out. Oh, and that's when she took the mark. She definitely had nowhere to go that time.
Yeah, I just wonder, can you see, is there any damage on the foil?
Yes.
You just see there on the wing. I just wonder if there was a little bit of damage then after she clipped that smart mate. You can see that face on from Katie Munnings to say, oh no, what's happened there? And there's a better shot of it from on board with Sarah Mizier and Team Blue Rising, and look how much that cost her for momentum.
I think it was actually the wash that pushed her over there. It wasn't anything Katie could do. It literally, as you see, she turns, the boat slightly hooks, and she's just a passenger.
Just shows fine margins that we're dealing with here in the E1 series. Again, this was another one on the rejoin, wasn't it? After doing the long lap loop on the last lap, side by side with Team Alula we're on board with. On the far side there is Team Drogba and Micah Wilkinson. Unfortunately now, for Katie and Team Alula, he has the inside line and she has to give way as we go to that final corner. Oh, I'll tell you what, got very, very close with a little bit of boost there. But suddenly when you're in the outside, you're vulnerable, aren't you?
You are vulnerable, and I mean, they're literally fighting for the line now. They're probably trimming as high as they can, getting as much out of the Racebird as they can, but it just wasn't enough for Team Alula. Great race, though.
So Team Brady run out victorious here in our first group stage race. It was Sam Coleman in the cockpit, and Taylor Snyder is down in the launch zone with him.
Sam Coleman, you're down here. This is your second win of the season, and like you said, every race, that's a win is a win, right? Defending champions, are you back?
We never went away. We just had some bad luck. Is it only the second? It's frustrating, you know. We're 3 races in now, but each win's good and it counts, but the one that matters is at the end of the weekend. So we got to keep pushing forward, and it's a good foundation for the weekend, and hopefully Emma can jump in and do some of the same.
Any strategies going forward, speaking on boost or that long short lap?
It's just, It's all course dependent, like you're managing it. I felt like we were super slow because we're just managing gaps and using boost where we want to use it. So I don't know, maybe there's some more pace to come hopefully as well, but the conditions are tough for everybody, and yeah, crossing the line first was the main thing.
Tough conditions, but you pulled it off. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So thanks to Sam Coleman, job done, strategy complete. We've just been told a 40-second penalty, unfortunately, in that race for Katie Munnings and Team Alula for hitting the smart mark. Possibly a bit harsh. It doesn't change the result across the line ultimately. And so Rusty Wyatt will have to go from lane 4 in the second of the group stage race. Team Brady are the winners with Sam Coleman there. He will hand over to Emma Kimilainen. Sarah Mizir doing the job for Team Blue Rising, and Team Dropper and Michael Wilkinson promoted to spot 2 for that second group stage race with 3rd place. So we're just on the outskirts of the old city walls of the old town of Dubrovnik. Medieval 14th century walls. Beautiful, beautiful backdrop here on the Adriatic coast. And they're just preparing themselves for the second set of group stage races. So we've had our group stage 1A, now we've got group stage 2A. This will be a 5-boat race featuring the championship leaders Team Rafa. A few of Team Rafa's guests down there on up in the Ocean Club overlooking. Got a lovely view, haven't they?
They got a fantastic view of the course there. I mean, what a place to be. We're in the wrong place, Gavin.
Stuck in the commentary box. Oh, you know, we still get to watch all the best of the action, don't we, from up here? Get all the drones above.
Wow.
That's a small little dinghy out in the water here as well.
That is the beautiful image of the world of power and sailing in one hit. Both those yachts there are worth millions and millions. And yes, which one would you have?
I don't think I could afford either, to be honest. You know, see that little rib that was out there? That's probably the best I could ever muster if I saved up for a few years. Up in the Ocean Club, it is going to be a glorious day here in Dubrovnik. And they'll have a beautiful view over the course from up there. Sample some of the hospitality. As you mentioned before, Shelley, a lot of pleasure boats out there, a lot of ferries as well. And this all creates a little bit of wash.
This is what is causing the turbulent water out there for these races. These race birds do not like the wash.
Let's get back to Taylor, who should be down. So let's see if we can get to Taylor. She should be in the launch zone at the moment.
Micah, we've just come off this race, and what a race it was. Lots of competition out there, but this is kind of just getting your feet wet still. What have you learned so far?
Yeah, Team Drogba's had a bit of a tough weekend. We had a tough quali, but we're feeling much better today. We're getting the boat going a little bit better. So that race there was just about kind of finding our feet. And yeah, I think we gained a spot. It wasn't amazing, but it's a solid start to today, and we're just going to keep fighting all the way through.
Obviously, it's anybody's game with this long and short lap out there. You really have a chance to pull through. Any strategy towards using that for that win?
Yeah, I'll leave that to the smart guys upstairs. I'm just turning the wheel at the moment. But yeah, it's great having the 3 laps. It really mixes it up. We saw a nice rejoin there with Katie towards the end of the race and a nice battle to the line. So it's cool. We're loving the format, loving the new starting. It's great.
Excellent. Great work for Drogba.
I think the Kiwis rival the Finns for being cool and collected and laid back, don't they? He's just popped out of a 6-lap race there, and yeah, just like he's had a little Toby around.
And of course, the temperature there today, I think we're up into the 25 degrees C.
28 now, I think.
28.
Yeah, it's just shot up, yeah.
And you think they're in that temperature, you can see the umbrellas there, they're trying to keep the cockpits free. It's really tough for these pilots. As we've said before, they are in about 4 layers of clothing, including a very thick padded life jacket, hands device supporting their neck, crash helmets, and then they're sat in a small box and close the lid.
Yeah, they're like being in a greenhouse on the water. It's not a well, it's a prime position obviously to be involved in the race, but it's a tough job out there. Again, these huge boats that are out there in the water. So So let's see if we can hear what Team Miami's Anna Glennon had to say. Taylor's caught up with Anna before she's heading out on the water.
Anna Glennon, I'm down here in the launch zone. We see your Team Miami boat behind us. We're in a new location here on the Adriatic coast. It's absolutely beautiful. How is it being on new water out here?
Oh, it's stunning out here, man. This is water like I've never seen before. It's really nice to be out here. Dubrovnik, the fans, everyone has been really wonderful and welcoming to the U1 series, and the boats are flying and the water's looking good.
And we saw yesterday there was some kind of old-fashioned boats, and now we're bringing electric. So how cool is it to kind of combine, obviously, all this history that we're seeing here with the new, the future, the electric?
Yeah, it's really an honor to be a part of such cutting-edge technology. I don't think anything like this has ever been done before, and to have a backdrop with something as old and historic as this city and the boats around it is really an honor.
All right, let's talk about race really quickly. Expectations today.
Yeah, you know, the team, we're having a little bit of trouble with the balance of the boat. I mean, I'm sure you guys were surprised to see us qualify so low. So we worked on some things last night, not 100% sure if we've got it sorted, but Team Miami is all about rallying. So, you know, even if we're not looking so hot, you know, we're fighting really hard.
All right, excellent. Best of luck.
So here we can see shots of Team Alula's boat being craned out of the water. That's what a Smart Mark does. Now, they sand the foils down the bottom. That's a bit more than a sanding, isn't it? And that's going to take a little bit of work to get that sorted for their next race, which is not too far away.
That's a definite chip in the foil there. That's a big ding. You wouldn't think that a Smart Mark would actually make that kind of damage, but this technology is such a fine art. And as we've said, you sand those foils to give the peak performance. And that's not very aerodynamic at the moment.
You have to say, though, Katie drove a really good race after that happened to be challenging with Michael Wilkinson right up to the line.
She certainly, there was nothing wrong with Katie's driving. She absolutely piloted that E-Bird just to perfection. With the damage, she could have come in fourth place. I just feel that her long lap was at the wrong time, and that wasn't her fault.
This is the moment that it happened through the final corner. You felt the wash on the outside from the other boats might have just knocked her into it.
Yeah, if we watch again, she comes round, she's trying to take it tight, she's got Team Blue rising on the outside, and you see there, the boat just moves, and she's a passenger, she's got no control.
It was an unnatural thing, wasn't it? Yeah, I think the wake that came off the lead boat, the Team Brady boat. Let's go back down to the launch zone with Lucas Ordóñez.
Lucas, we just saw Sarah go out. Tell me how Westbrook Racing Team is feeling this weekend.
Well, we always feel optimistic. No, we know that the Fridays are not our days during this season. It happened in Jeddah, it happened in Qatar, it happened yesterday here in Dubrovnik, but Saturdays sometimes or most of the times come better. So yeah, Sarah is up next. She will manage a good start, I believe, and from then on we can recover and fight to be on the finals.
The camaraderie between the teammates is great. What do you do during a race? How are you spotting her or watching out for her?
Well, yeah, we have a very, very good relationship. The team, you know, since Venice last year, we've grown a lot. We have a very close relationship all together, and that's key to succeed, no? To work in the best way as possible. And yeah, we just prepare every detail for every session, and step by step we improve. But yeah, it seems like it's not our year in terms of testing and qualifying sessions, but we will try to recover as usual.
Excellent. Best of luck to Westbrook.
Thank you.
That's Lucas Ordóñez from Will Smith's Westbrook Racing. In the cockpit, there is Sarah Price. And it has been tough, actually, on qualifying days for them so far this year for Westbrook Racing. They were 9th in Jeddah and Doha, so last in qualifying. And then they were 7th yesterday, but they turned it around on both occasions and come 4th in the race. So it shows you can still get to the final. And Sarah's a cool customer. I mean, she's a Dakar motorcyclist, she's a buggy driver, she's had 4 stage wins in the Dakar. That's one of the hardest races in the world. Now, this is not what we want to see. Team Brazil perhaps more problems for them, Shelley?
Apparently we've got a power issue, so as we can see, the whole team are on board there, trying to fix it. We have the lady to the left in the white shirt and the black trousers. She's the UIM official, so she's obviously watching the clock, getting messages from race control of whether we can get this fixed. We need to get Brazil out there. Come on, Team Brazil.
It's Marit Stromoy, vastly experienced in her own right in powerboat racing, and she's sat in the cockpit waiting to go. We're being told there's going to be a 5-minute delay to the start of this group stage 2A race. So that will mean that the race will be in about 9 minutes time. So they're just giving Team Brazil, I like what they've done there, just squeezing up the schedule a little bit to see if we can get Team Brazil out there. They sit last in the championship standings, but having qualified second back in Doha, it's misfortune, isn't it, they keep having? It was a smart mark on that occasion that got wedged under the foil.
Yes, this is a very, very strong team, and they are just not having the luck at the moment. Everything just seems to be plaguing them from here. We've got a power problem. We had the mark at the last race. The smart mark was well and truly wedged underneath the foil. So let's hope these guys, we've got all the engineers on board there. We've got the E1 race technician there. The UIM official is there. She's trying to say, come on guys, we've got to get this done. Oh, canopy going on. This is a good sign.
Here. This is possibly a positive sign.
Yeah.
They've unplugged her from the charge station. Let's see.
This is what's so fantastic about the E1 raceboard, sorry, that we can mend it.
Right, let's see what's been going on down there. The co-pilot Timmy Hansen is up on the launch zone with Taylor, hopefully.
Timmy, I can see some action going on here. Your crew is rapidly working to get this boat out. Tell me what's going on.
I wouldn't start, but it looks now, I don't know what's going on, but it looks like they've fixed it. So they were super fast, just in 2 minutes or something, getting the boat. So hopefully she'll just back out right now. And it's kind of a far way down to the start line, so I hope she makes it there before the start goes.
Well, your team is fast. How are you guys feeling today? Fast as well?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was great in the race. We didn't really have the qualifying pace, but the race pace is a whole different thing. So, the start was good, the race pace was good, so we're feeling strong today.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Team Brazil.
And we have movement.
Well, if anybody can keep her cool and get to that start line, it's Marit Stromroy.
She'll be on the boost. She'll be getting out there on the boost.
She's been in this position many times before, under pressure, and she's pulled it out of the bag. So watch this.
So, Marit Stromoy for Team Brazil. Makes you nervous for them, doesn't it? Look at everyone watching on from the marina, getting the view of these beautiful race birds in Team Brazil livery. I think there's not many look half as good as that.
Wow, look at the Ocean Club. This is
DJ,
beautiful.
DJ, a little bit of everything. Yeah, it's all going on down here in Dubrovnik. There's Ronnie Basso, the co-founder and CEO of the E1 series. Enjoying a little bit of Croatian hospitality as we get ready for this group stage 2A race. 5 boats in it. Chris Lasaraga for Rafa, Marcelo Lobadan for Aoki, Marit Stromoy for Brazil, Sarah Price for Westbrook, and then Anna Glennon is in the boat for Team Miami on the outside.
This is the glamour of the E1 series.
That's why we're not in there, Shelley. That's why we're not in there.
Thanks.
Well, no, maybe I'm looking for myself, yes. Oh, it's a bad, oh no. Alejandro Agag down there, another of the founders of E1, of course, all the success in Formula E and Extreme E. And this is the latest project, the E1 series, promoting...
She is romping to the start there.
Promoting environmentally friendly marine action. She is heading out there. She's not too far away from the milling zone now. And our race clock, 5 minutes to go. She's going to get there, no problem. Lovely. That's where the Ocean Club is, just up at the top left of your picture, where mission control can be found. And Marit Stromoy. Well, as Timmy Hansen said, okay, qualifying might not have gone quite as they would have liked, quite to plan. They were actually the winners, weren't they, of the first qualifying race yesterday, which puts them lane 3 for this one. And as Timmy said, racing is a different story. So now, from that 3rd place, who knows? It's all going to be about that run down to turn 1.
As we've said so many times before, it's all very well going around in qualifying when you've got no one fighting you for the corner. But as we can see, and as we've just seen in the last race, it's a whole different ball game. As Sarah Mizet said, it was spicy. First corner.
I love that. Sounds even better in a Jamaican accent, doesn't it? Down towards turn 1, the battle we had there. We're on board here with Aoki Racing. They'll be lining up here in lane 2. Second in the championship, 3rd in qualifying yesterday. And Michelle Lobaidan, who was of course won on home soil back in Saudi Arabia at our opener in Jeddah. Rally driver, successful on 4 wheels and successful here on the water. Some tunes reminiscent of something Steve Aoki might pull out as she sits calmly ahead of this second race of the morning, our Group Stage 2A race. Now they're starting to get themselves in the kind of position they want to be in, Shelley.
You can see them just lining up. So in muster, they have to go anti-clockwise around in a circle until they're told to get ready, that they can actually go and start to proceed. And then, as we know, the seconds to that start line are absolutely crucial. As we saw, Rusty Wyatt did a dream start yesterday.
This is how they line up then for our Group Stage 2A race. Cristina Lasaraga, championship leaders, Team Rafa on the inside. Then it's Aoki Racing with Michelle Lobaidan in 2nd. Team Brazil finally got out there. Marit Stromoy is there in 3rd, with Sarah Price for Will Smith's Westbrook Raiding in 4th. And Team Miami's Anna Glennon on the outside. Here she is, Jet Girl. A jet ski racer in her own right. Anything on the water, and Anna will be there. And sounding bullish ahead of today's racing action. Got just over 2 minutes to the start of this Group Stage 2A race. On her inside will be Sarah Price, as I say, a 4-time Dakar stage winner, multi-motocross champion in the USA. Power couple with Ricky Brabeck back in the USA. So Will Smith's Westbrook Racing in lane 4. To her inside, the vastly decorated powerboat racer and legend really of the sport. And thank goodness the power issue hopefully has been resolved, and she's going to line up in the middle of our grid. To her inside, winners of the opening round in Jeddah, 2nd in Doha. Michelle Lobaidan will be in lane 2 on the run down towards turn 1. Who's going to get it flying? Will it be Team Aoki or Aoki Racing, or will it be Team Rafa? Rafael Nadal's squad of Chris Lasaraga and Tom Schaap, fastest in the time trials. Chris was one of the fastest overall actually in qualifying. Can she now back it up as we go racing? Won every single race she took part in back in Doha. So can she do the same again from pole position in this 2nd group stage race? So that's where the launch zone was on the left-hand side, the old city walls there. And this is the course they'll be taking on here, Shelley?
Yep, this is the normal course. So the blue line is your normal lap. We have a short lap and a long lap. And they have to take one each during this race. And it can really mess the race up and change positions instantly.
Tactics will be key from mission control. Team principals will be watching on and making crucial calls in this race. It was vital for Team Brady's win in the first of our group stage races. What's it going to be today? Little squeeze already from Aoki Racing to Team Rafa on the run down towards turn 1. It's very tight between the two of them. Looks like Sarah Price has got it running well. You can't cross the start line before the clock ticks to 0. It's going to be tight for Sarah Price, but she gets going just about perfectly for Westbrook Racing. Good start from Rafa on the inside as well. Sarah Price still has to keep her line though, because Team Brazil and Marit Stromoy is coming at her hard, actually, down towards turn 1. She does cut across right in front of Team Rafa. They'll have a close look at that, but it looks like Sarah Price, lane 4 again. It looks though Sarah Price has taken over.
Sarah nailed that corner and completely puts the rest of her fleet in her wash. Well done, girl.
So there you can see we're on board with Michelle Lobaidan, and she's dropping backwards now as Chris Lasaraga comes through on the inside. Marit Stromoy's recovery, brilliant. She stayed in 3rd place. Bear in mind, she almost didn't make the start of this race. And then Lobaidan for Aoki Racing is dropping to 4th, and Anna Glennon at the back of the field for Team Miami, who just feels like this weekend, both her and Eric Stark have just not quite had the feeling.
She just seems to be lacking power here, and she's got spray coming off there. I wondered if there's any damage on a foil there that's just slowing her down, because she's really lacking it back there.
We have had a protest already from Team Brazil to the leaders, Westbrook Racing and Sarah Price. I'm not surprised, because you did feel a little bit of encroachment, didn't you, into the lane heading down towards turn 1. So we'll see what race direction make of it. Sarah Price, though, does lead them across the line at the end of the first lap. Here comes Christina Lasaraga, though, on the inside. Sarah Price can cover this one off, no problem. There you can see from on board with Team Rafa. Sarah Price just needs to defend now, and she will, heading into the first corner, but race direction, will be having a close look at it.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one there. I don't know whether it was the start where she didn't give enough room, or whether it was that first corner that I said she nailed it, but maybe she nailed it too hard.
Sebastiano Pellecchia, the race director, has said the protest has been denied, so we carry on. Sarah Price has taken the short lap early on in this race, and this now will give her a bit of breathing room. It's up to Sarah from this position to crack on at her own pace, dictate the pace of the race, try and be as smooth as possible. She is going to have clean water in front of her now for the rest of this race.
That's teamwork at its finest, because, yep, she's giving ourselves a load of room. Team Miami, good move. They're at the back. They've got nothing to lose. They get that long lap out the way. Great move by Team Miami.
Get the long lap out the way, and also don't be in that wash any longer than you need to be. So hopefully now, by the time she rejoins the course proper, the wash will have settled a little bit and she'll have fairly clean water to race in, just like Sarah Price has the front. And how much did she nail that start, Shelley? That's been crucial again from lane 4, just as it was in qualifying yesterday for Alula.
It's the timing up to that start line could actually win and lose these races. It is so important. And if I was any team, I would be out there counting the seconds to the absolute 100.
And what is it about Will Smith's Westbrook Racing and race day? As we said, they were 9th in both Jeddah and Doha in qualifying. They were 7th yesterday, and now it looks like Lucas Ordóñez, if this race finishes as it is, there is every chance that they'll be right in the final yet again. So as Brazil take the short lap, Marit Stromoy now leapfrogs Rafa. This will put Christina Lasaraga in a whole load of wash here. So I think this is good tactics perhaps from the Norwegian Marit Stromoy and of course Team Brazil.
Yeah, Team Brazil, good move there. They've put Chris in the dirty water. Christina hasn't done anything yet, a long lap or a short lap, so I would get something out the way and get yourself out of that messy water.
Yeah, possibly a long or a short lap next time around for Rafa Nadal's squad. So across the line it's Westbrook Racing. Marit Stromoy is having a really good race here. Fastest lap of this race has gone to Christina Lasaraga, so she is the fastest runner with a 1:20.8. That's of the regular course. As Marit Stromoy did a 1:09, it just shows that, you know, it's about 11, 12, 13 seconds quicker to go through the short lap.
We're lap 4 of 6 already, and only Anna has done the long lap. So, yeah, we're going to have to start doing some tactics here, guys.
Yeah, Westbrook Racing, Sarah Price is on normal course as Team Rafa instantly go for the short lap, so they should regain position. Will they take the lead in this race? And I think they might here. Christina Lasaraga. Now, this is key. This is crucial. They've both done their short laps, and suddenly Team Rafa have leapfrogged Westbrook Racing. They both have a long lap to perform, and Christina Lasaraga's pace, that's what it's down to, this, has just meant that she has undercut Westbrook Racing. She's undercut Sarah Price, and now is the leader of this race proper.
And they've both got to do a long lap, so she should be able to hold on to this. This is a good move by Christina.
2 laps to go in this race then. as Team Rafa take charge once more. It is choppy out there. The wash is making this really, really difficult.
The turbulent water out there from all of the traffic, it isn't smooth. It isn't smooth at all. This is like a rough, choppy race. And then you add the boats in front of you and all the wash. You've got to get in the clean water, guys.
So we are on board with Will Smith's Westbrook Racing. Digs that left wing in the water to get it turned on the boost to get up on the foils out of the corner. Oh, we saw the right wing just dip in. Is she going to go for the long lap? I think she is. You can just see the Westbrook Racing boat going high and going for that long lap. So she's going to go high. This perhaps will promote Team Brazil ahead of her, but don't forget Marit Stromoy and Team Brazil still also have to take the long lap. Marshall Alobadan has already done the long lap. She's at the back of the field now, but she still has a short lap to take in this race. I wonder if Team Aoki will take it now. Here we go. This is going to be tight, and it has promoted Marit Stromoy, as expected, ahead of Sarah Price. However, Sarah's done both her long and short lap. Marit and Team Brazil still have the long lap to go. Still a long lap to go for Team Rafa.
This is so... I just can't predict how this is going to come out now.
It should be bottom right. There you are. That's what our computer's saying. Team Rafa to win, Westbrook to be second, Aoki to be promoted to third if they take their short lap. So final lap, Cristina Lasaraga has to take the long lap. What's the gap behind her across the line? Still waiting for the others to cross that finish line. So Brazil go across now, the gap stands across the line at 17.6 seconds. Is that enough? Here comes Marcelo Lobaidano, who's really built into this race now, and on the boost she goes down towards turn one, and Sarah Price is going to have to give her room here.
Oh, we have foiled.
Oh, here we go, contact! We've had more contact there, and Sarah Price turned in to the nose of Marcelo Lobaidan on the Aoki Racing boat. More contact, and it's going to come again as she cuts across once more. Surely has to give a little bit of room, but it's not to be. It's not going to happen. And Michelle Alobadan takes the inside. That's brilliant from the Aoki Racing boat.
But, oh, Westbrook's gone onto the other side. She's gone onto the outside. Now, yeah, I think Michelle's got that. She's pulled away.
Brilliant.
She's put Westbrook into the dirty water behind her.
Brilliant from Aoki Racing. I'm sure they'll have a look at what that contact there in race direction. But meanwhile, Cristina Lasaraga has done the job. Didn't get the whole shot down into the first corner. We're being told, well, it looks like from the top left, she hasn't done the long lap. That must maybe, have we missed it?
Did we miss it, or is it?
Or is there an error? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that one, because this is going to get interesting. Across the line, Aoki Racing will take second place. Will there be a penalty though? Has Sarah Price Chris Lasaraga taken that long lap? Westbrook Racing will go third with Sarah Price. Fourth for Team Brazil, and Team Miami and Anna Glennon come home in fifth place. But there's lots and lots for our race director to look at there, Shelley.
Well, I'm confused, so everyone else must be. What has happened there? What a great race. Seconds between them as they crossed that finish line. But did Cristina, Team Rafa, do the long lap?
She's doing it now. There's been a miscalculation of laps, and you can see the frustration here on her face, almost in tears. She's just done the long lap. I think she thought there was another lap to go. There's been a miscalculation, miscommunication. That's happened a couple of times already this weekend, and you can see it etched on her face that Team Rafa did not take the long lap during that race. And there are tears in the eyes of Cristina Lasaraga, and you can understand she's just won that race by 22 seconds. However, did not take the long lap loop.
What has happened there? Is it a communication problem again? But I thought, Gavin, that they could also see all the information on their screen, and so if you can't hear mission control, you've got it on your dash yourself. So I would love maybe we can get Taylor to go down and have a chat to her and say what happened.
Yeah, well, down in the Ocean Club, confused faces to know what's gone on there. There was contact from this man's teammate, Lucas Ordóñez, and Sarah Price. So there was contact between her and Marcelo Lobaidan as well. Big release of breath for Sarah Price. I mean, she's been in a race there today, got the whole shot, then was accused of having cut up Team Brazil, then has been contact with Aoki Racing. It's hard to get your head around that one. Another great E1 group stage race.
Nobody can say that the E1 series isn't exciting. This is like literally on the edge of your seat. You just don't know where to look next. Great racing from everybody. But I really hope that, let's hope that Team Rafa are okay.
Let's see if we can speak to Michelle Lobaidan. Well, Michelle, that was an absolutely superb drive from you there. Contact between yourself and Sarah Price out there. Talk about it from your point of view. What happened in that one?
Honestly, it was, we're all tunnel focused in there. It was really fun. I believe just, everyone stuck to the rules, and I think it was amazing. I really enjoyed this round.
Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, she was superb, I have to say, because at one point was 5th and last in that race. But that just shows when she was able to then take the short lap, suddenly it's a different story. I wonder what Sarah Price might have to say from inside Will Smith's Westbrook Racing race bird. She's just about making it back to the launch zone now, as are all the other race birds. An eventful group stage race. There is Michelle Lobaidan. Of course, the race director's got to decide what to do about Cristina Lasaraga not having taken the long lap loop. Will that be a straight 20-second penalty? Will it be more? Because it does change things.
Oh, it will certainly change things, Gavin. It will completely change the results of that race as we saw it finish across the line. She doesn't look happy.
So we are being told a potential 40-second penalty, and you can see Cristina Lasaraga is very unhappy. Straight away out of the race bird and heading back now towards the technical area. Oh, you've got to feel for her, don't you? And you know she is consummate professional. Won every single race back in Doha, won the Grand Prix really for that team, and today she just won that race. However, a miscalculation has occurred, whether it's inside the cockpit, outside the cockpit, and you can understand, you could put yourself in that position, Shelley.
I'd be in tears, I have to say. If she isn't crying inside that crash helmet, then she's a better person than I am, because the frustration of it all, the adrenaline, the frustration, the anger, and they're leading the championships. This is our championship leaders of the moment. They cannot afford to make a mistake like that.
And now they will start that second of the group stage races from the outside. They are relegated to last place. Drama here in Dubrovnik. So Cristina Lasaraga across the line was first, 40-second penalty, finishes last, promotes Anna Glennon to 4th, Marit Stromoy to 3rd, Sarah Price gets promoted back up to 2nd place. What an eventful race that Sarah's had. And then Michelle Lobaidan effectively takes victory in it. Right, so as we look on at the beautiful backdrop of Dubrovnik, let's head back to the launch zone and see what Sarah Price has to say to Taylor.
Sarah, I know yesterday it was a little bit of a difficult day. We seem to have a little bit of redemption, but what a race that was out there. You and Michelle, Aoki Racing Team, were kind of going at it.
Hey, leave it to the dirt girls. She raced Dakar as well, so that makes it a little bit fun. I know we're not supposed to be doing that, and I really didn't know she was there. But yeah, I was struggling in the boat. I just couldn't keep it on the foils at all. But we race well. Our team hasn't been the fastest this year. We've been struggling with a lot of issues with the boat, but one thing we do is we come together as a team and we race well.
Tell me more about why can't you keep it on the foils? What's going on out there?
Honestly, we don't know. Me and Lucas try to figure it out all the time. And sometimes, we get lucky and sometimes we don't, but it's still just figuring out how to drive these boats and different setups, and then they keep changing stuff, so it's just learning and constantly evolving.
Lucas, tell me about that effort from Sarah.
Well, that was mega, but what a start. As Westbrook Racing, normally we are nailing the stats. I hope to do it the same, but that was a great start. And then I think we are not in the right setting to be fast in these weather conditions. I think the guys are running a different propeller, I will say, but we will try to defend. We will try to do our best. We will try to do again a good start, as Westbrook Racing normally does, and let's keep going and facing to the finals.
Positive vibes, great effort today. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, always.
Always.
Lucas Ordóñez and Sarah Price then. Excellent teamwork, they've dovetailed nicely. Interesting though from Lucas saying thinks they've got a different prop on. They had to make that prop choice at the start of the day this morning, and so possibly feels they've gone a different direction.
Well, they've got a choice of 3 different propellers to use, so maybe they thought they'd go with something a bit radical and hope that it would give them some extra, boost or whatever, but unfortunately it hasn't paid off.
It seemed to work down towards turn 1, I have to say.
Yeah, but look how bouncy he is. It's just not giving them the bite. These are tricky conditions. These are really tricky conditions for the race birds. Look, everyone else is actually flying on the foils, really, really lovely and level.
And this is where Marit Stromoy in Team Brazil, she felt that she'd been impeded here, didn't she? And she was on the boost there and felt like this is the start again. Let's watch it from on board with Michelle Olobaidan. This is lane 2, looking at the Team Brazil boat, and just look at how Sarah Price, nailed it was the word that Lucas Ordóñez used, and she's just got it flowing. And it again, the swell in the water, different for every different lane here.
Yeah, it's obviously Sarah Price has got the clean water, but again, you see she was running beautifully there, and then suddenly she's dropping into the water. They're all going over wash here, so they're all like, the hulls are dropping into the water. They're all struggling, but it's just who can actually recover it the quickest and get it back up onto the foils.
That's where it got tight between Aoki Racing and Team Brazil. This is on board with Westbrook Racing. Just look at Team Rafa on the inside there, and Cristina Lasaraga. Just see, she's trying to stay out of the wash as much as possible. Focus. And as Sarah was saying, trying to keep it up on the foils is very, very hard at the moment. I think it's the same for everybody in terms of the conditions out there.
But they think they have actually chosen the wrong propeller choice, which they now can't change for the rest of the weekend. So they're just going to have to learn to live with it and fight it.
This was the moment that Cristina Lasaraga took charge of this race. And from this point on, we said, barring any drama, it was going to be another win.
But we did have drama.
We did, unfortunately, because as Cristina rejoined there, and you see, as Cristina comes back in front in the Team Rafa boat, in front of Sarah Price. She didn't take the long lap loop, I'm afraid to say. This was the moment of the race, wasn't it? I'll tell you what, Michelle Olobaidan on the beautiful pink Aoki boat had it flying down towards turn 1. But Sarah says here, Shelley, that she just didn't see her and then turns right across her. How would you have felt if you were Michelle? Michelle sort of just shrugged it off.
She did shrug it off. She's a pretty cool customer, but at this point it should be Mission Control who should have told Sarah where she was. Because that is their job to say. These pilots don't have navigators sat with them. Their navigator is sat in Mission Control, and they should have said.
They have little rear view cameras, don't they? You can just see them like those little ears, and again, there's another. But again, you can't see anything, can you?
They're concentrating on too much. They've got way too much going on in the cockpit. They can't be, they can look to see who's behind them or at the side, but that is a true job of Mission Control.
There's a few things going on out there. So we're looking at Michelle Olobaidan and Team Aoki, second across the line, but they take the victory. Michelle is down there with Taylor in the launch zone.
Michelle, a win is a win, but what a race that was. Tell me a little bit about what happened with you in Westbrook.
Honestly, it was a battle. Because of visibility, she couldn't see me, though I had the right of the lane, but I totally agree with her because the visibility is pretty difficult in there. But it was a fun race. It wasn't easy, of course, but we had a blast. It was a good one.
And I know you are friends with Chris, competitors, but definitely friends here with everybody. How do you think she's feeling after that?
Chris, personally, I see Chris as one of the top drivers. So I always enjoy going on track and racing with her because we get to push each other. Yeah, that's racing. One time you're up, one time you're down. You just need to be humble and just keep on pushing. Yeah.
And how are you feeling? Obviously, you guys are having, there's some celebrations going on down here with Danny. Danny, let me get a word from you really quick. That performance out of her.
You came out of like, what happened there? Amazing. You were consistent. She was consistent. She was cool. She was focused. And, at the end, even in this racing, it happens. Sometimes you might feel that you're nowhere, and then suddenly.
Yeah, that's why we have the long and short lap. It's about strategy as well, for sure.
You guys are on top right now. I feel like there's a lot of eyeballs on you. You guys are the ones to beat. What are you going to do to keep them behind you?
Just keep doing what we have to do.
Stay focused. As simple as that.
It's a little one now. Another one, another step. We still have a lot of racing here. Now it's my turn.
Yeah, and then I go.
So I just need to keep focused and think. But just a little bit of a, just a little one.
Unbelievable.
All right, Aoki's racing team is celebrating down here. They're saying, beware of the dragon. Here comes team owner Azam celebrating with the team. We've got more racing to do. Oh, let's see if we can get Azam. Azam, can I get a word from you? Obviously, your team is killing it out there on the water. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing. We're on fire, and we're in the home of the dragon. We are the dragon. You better be scared because we're coming.
I love it. Thank you so much, Aoki Racing Team, having a little celebration down here at the launch zone.
And to right as well. It's a good drive, wasn't it, from Michelle Lovadan? And I wonder if they're discussing what happened there. Hey, I have to say, Michelle was straight up in Sarah Price's corner straight away, and that's great sportsmanship.
Yeah, it was lovely sportsmanship. She said, I love fighting with Sarah out there, and yeah, they had a fight.
Yeah, it's something I suppose you wouldn't necessarily see it on a rally too much either, but the pair of them vastly experienced off-road and on the water, just going at it.
That's what racing's all about. You got to sort of just push those rules just to the limit and get your line, and hope there's not too much damage or your race director doesn't see you.
Yeah, she does actually hand the reins over now, doesn't she, to Danny Kloss, and not a bad person to hand them over to, because he was one of the fastest in the time trials on Friday. As I think that's where Sarah realised, oh, there she is actually. Michelle's there, took a big deep breath, didn't she? Looking out of her side window, and all she's got is spray and a bright orange Aoki Racebird.
Yes, now she should be looking ahead, and her mission control should be talking in her ear. You've got Aoki on the left, either don't change your line or pull away a little bit, give her some space.
This is how it finished with the penalty for Team Rafa. 5th across the line. Aoki Racing take the win with Westbrook 2nd, Team Brazil, Team Miami 4th. That's how they line up in Group Stage 2B. Dubrovnik is our host this weekend for the 3rd round of the E1 Series in 2025. And a beautiful day here on the Adriatic coast. Absolutely glorious. The course is just to the left of that shot, so everyone there enjoy themselves on the beach. Hopefully they're having a great day. They've got a big screen in the back they can watch all the action on. Up in the Ocean Club, the tunes are pumping out. It's not a bad day up there to be having. Ideal location to watch on the action here. While all that's going on and everyone's enjoying themselves, some busy work going on for Team Alula. The Racebird is still up and being worked on in the technical zone.
Yeah, I would love to know if they're replacing the foil, if they have spare foils and they're literally replacing it, or are they trying to mend that broken one? Maybe we can find that out later.
Yeah, as it stands, still up there on stilts. There's Micah Wilkinson, I think Oban Duncan just behind. I'm sure they're watching E1 action, aren't they, from yesterday? I'm not going through YouTube, something like that.
They're probably watching the last race, looking as like, whoa, it's wild out there.
You see Oban there's got an ice pack in her hands, just trying to keep cool ahead of the start of the race. And Team Drogba will be heading out in lane 3 on this next group stage race. This is the launch zone here in Dubrovnik, just on the outside of the medieval city walls. I'm trying to see if I can see the Team Alula boat in the water. Can't quite see it there.
No, I don't think we can. We've actually just heard, Gavin, that they are replacing that foil. They are literally taking one off and putting a brand new one from the box, as it were. So that's what's so fantastic about the E1 Racebird. They will have every Racebird out there on the course for every race, kind of rain or shine, and they will make it work, which is just so good for a powerboat series of any kind, of any motorsport really. It's, you know, there are breakages, there are damages, but to be able to mend it and get it straight back out there is just a brilliant technique, really.
Emma Kymäläinen limbering up as she gets ready to go from pole position in this group stage 1B race. She'll be on the inside. That's coming up shortly. Meanwhile, let's hear from Taylor down there with Team Miami's Anna Glennon, who was 4th eventually in that race.
Down here with Anna and teammate Eric. Talk a little bit about that race that you just came out of. There was some contact going on. Did you have a nice view of it?
No, to be completely honest, you know, coming out of quali, you guys probably noticed we didn't qualify very well, so we're really focused on the balance of the boat right now. It's got a lot better, so it took me the first 2 laps to figure out what I needed to do to compensate for it being better again, and then we caught up to the pack. So I just kind of let them mess with each other up front. Maybe they'd take each other out and I'd be able to catch up, and I did. So it was a good kind of learning laps for us, and then Eric's going to take the boat out, and I'm sure he's going to kill it.
Eric, while your teammate's racing out there, what do you do? Are you talking to her? Are you learning? What does the meeting look like after a race?
No, of course, I'm watching the race over there and then heading back here and trying to hear the information from Anna. So, you know, we can prepare ourselves as best as possible for my race. And yeah, we know since the bad day we had yesterday that today will be a little bit of uphill day. But, you know, it's racing, everything can happen. And, you know, it's many laps we're going to do and, you know, it's penalties and things. So, you know, we're just going to push and do our best and hope it's enough.
Definitely a lot going on out there. I know yesterday it was all about those conditions, right, being rough. Now with that added long lap, short lap, it truly is anybody's game, whether or not you're on the foils or not. How does that change things for you strategy-wise?
Yeah, the strategy lap is everything. You know, if you have a bad lap, you can use those to make up for it. I caught up to the pack significantly because of that. So I think that, you know, we're fortunate to have a good team watching from the skies, and I think we're going to use that to our advantage today.
Thoughts on you getting in the boat? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready.
Always ready.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun. You know, it's a beautiful place to drive and, you know, there's a lot of people here. So, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Team Miami.
They'll be heading out soon enough in the Group 2B stage race. So a little while yet. There's another race before that. Lots of VIP guests here as well, enjoying their time in Dubrovnik. Everyone we've spoken to is absolutely loving coming to Croatia. For the first time that the E1 series comes here. It's a picture postcard, isn't it, from every single camera angle.
Those pontoons are not easy to stand on. Have you ever stood on one of those, Gavin?
Yes.
Yeah,
not on the E1 ones.
No, they're quite wobbly. They make you feel a bit queasy sometimes, so everyone's doing very well there. But what a perfect launch zone for the E1 Racebirds. I just love the way they're built perfectly for the boat to just slide into the dock. Great setup we have here for the E1 series.
So Anna Glennon working really on setup, which was interesting there. That almost, I'm not saying it's like a test, but just staying in the race, getting a feel for things. Obviously made some changes overnight after things didn't work necessarily too well for them yesterday. You know, fact is they qualified in last place on combined, and it wasn't one pilot or the other, both struggling, and it felt like with the setup. We are ready for our group stage 1B race. Just a few moments away from that now. And let's head back to the launch zone, and Taylor is with Emma Kimmelainen from Team Brady.
Emma, down here with Team Brady, you guys had a great first start. Sam really pulled off that win. What are your expectations getting in that boat? Are we going to see more of that?
Yeah, well, hopefully. It's all about the start, so hopefully I can repeat what Sam just did. Good team effort there as well with the strategy and all of that. So yeah, hoping to repeat that.
And how are the water conditions today? I know yesterday everybody said it was very rough. What's the trick? Is it all about trim? Is it about staying on the foils? Tell me what your secret is.
Yeah, well, it is very rough out there, and especially if you're following a boat, so it gets very messy. That it's tough to get the boat up on the foils when the water is messy. So yeah, it adds extra stress to the driving, but yeah, it's all good. Yeah, we just have to see what the conditions are today, and because they vary all the time. You know, it's water, so it moves.
It's a moving race course, but obviously you're very calm and collected, and I know it's time to get in the boat. I see your competitors getting in there, so best of luck.
Thank you so much.
So Emma Kimmelainen starting to get the race face on, and as she rightly pointed out, a lot of it about getting down to the first corner, but it's the conditions. It looks so glorious, doesn't it? Turquoise, crystal clear waters. But wait until the wash starts and you start feeling like you're in a washing machine. So this is how the first set of group stage races lined up. They were the results in those. This is how they will line up on the right hand side of your screen. That's how they line up. A reminder that the winner of each group will go through to the final. So prime positions for Brady and Aoki Racing in those group stages. The last boat will head to the place race, and then the others will all go off in the race-off, which is one of those that just shows, even from the outside, Team Rafa now still, even though they're on the outside in that second group stage race, they can still claim a place in the final.
Well, we've seen it all weekend where lane 4 has actually got to the first mark first.
As the pleasure boat comes back in, a few tourists on board, all that just wash and just creating turbulence in the water.
Yeah, it's like they've actually got sort of like a motorway running round the outside of the course for them, which is what is causing all of their sort of turbulent waters on the course. But that's racing. That's what it's all about. It's an ever-changing surface. Oh, good sign.
This is a really good sign, isn't it, for Team Alula? See a little bit of tape on it as well. Hopefully that's not holding it all together, but they have done a fantastic job. Now this is a bit of a squeeze now as they bring it forward to try and get it onto the crane, and then it will be lifted into the water. Meanwhile, John Peters is getting himself in early. Still got 11 minutes to the start of this race, so hopefully Rusty Wyatt is going to get out there. But it's going to be tight, isn't it?
Yeah, John Peters is getting in there and calculating his aggression to pilot his race bird. He's such a character, and he loves the battle, so this will be a good race.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? I'm sure it's all done with a tongue in his cheek. Yesterday, a couple of the comments says, I can't wait till I lap everyone. What are their chances, do you think, getting down to turn 1 first?
Nil point. And at least they don't create any wash.
No.
We like them.
I wonder if they're going to be paddling out to the island. I think it's quite a long way to go if they are.
They've got a bird's eye view if they can stay there. And
are they VIP guests out there?
Sitting in there watching the race. They've got an absolute front seat row.
I just wonder if they're just trying to get the best view, best seats in the house. Don't let them on the course. Emma Kimmelainen, is she in there? You can see world champions proudly displayed. It's not a vacuum, they're not cleaning up. That is cool air being pumped into the cockpit for Emma.
Yeah, it looks a bit more professional than the Henry Hoover we had in one of our other boats, but anything to keep them cool. I bet those guys will say, you know, whatever you need. I've actually raced with a whole bag of ice in my lap before because it's been so unbearably hot. And as we all know, if you get hot and flustered, your brain slows down, and you can't afford it to slow down piloting an E1 race bird.
Yeah, some kit manufacturers do have cool vests and that kind of thing as well, don't they? So wondering whether that's being employed here or they just take it on the chin for the 6-lap race ahead. Still not seen the Team Alola Racebird in the water. So having taken pole position yesterday, I'm wondering whether they're going to be, with 9.5 minutes to go to the start of this race, are they going to have time, do you think, Shelley?
Well, they were under the crane, so I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, we're going to have them in this race.
I hope so. There we go. It's in the air at the moment. Oh, it's flying in one way.
We've got a lot of tape. Now, I would imagine that's because the foil is probably normally actually like siliconed or onto the side of the boat. We haven't had time for that all to set and go off. So they've probably siliconed it, then taped it as well, just for a little bit of extra security. But that is a quick fix. That is good teamwork.
Is Rusty going to be able to get in that Racebird before the start of this race? Running repairs on LeBron James's Team Alola Racebird. You know, such a great performance yesterday in qualifying. There's Rusty, actually. You can see him on the shore. He's ready to go. All the kit on. He's ready to race. This would be, well, if he then manages to have a hole shot, the first corner like he had yesterday, I'm not wearing a hat, but I'll take it off to him.
The timing of that start yesterday was just spot on. He just controlled everything.
We've just seen it, haven't we, in a couple of those races before. Sarah Price had a great start. If you can risk it, and that's what John Peters said yesterday, isn't it? It's trying to take a risk at this moment and get stuck in.
He should be there in plenty of time. We've got just under 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's just getting clipped in, isn't it? Getting all the safety equipment on, plugged into the communications panel, all these sorts of things. You were saying yesterday that the view when you're in the Racebird like that and making your way to the milling zone, you won't be able to see a thing.
No, it's very hard because obviously when you're not on the plane and up on the foils, the boat isn't level, so the bow of the boat is sort of right up. So you're sort of trying to look round the bow and over the bow, and you know what you really want to do is actually sort of get up and stand on your feet and look out, but you can't because you're in a 5-point harness. So it's very tricky getting out to that muster area and the visibility.
You must have been in the situation where you've jumped in your boat and it's had running repairs on it and you're just not sure whether everything's going to be okay. And how does that feel from a professional racer's point of view?
Completely nerve-wracking, but you've actually got to put it in a box and close the box and send it away. And if your engineer looks down at you and says, just go and drive it like you stole it, then you have to listen to them and you trust your team and you just put it out and go and win the race.
I won't put it past Rusty Wyatt, who burst onto the scene in F1 H2O last year, so let's see if he can do the same here in E1, having taken that pole position yesterday. He, in theory, will line up in lane 4 on the outside again, but we know what that meant for him on Friday. Clock is ticking down. 6 minutes to go to the start of the race. We saw for Marit Stromoy previously for Team Brazil, that was enough time to get out there, as John Peters is already heading to the milling zone. Brady out there with Emma Kimilainen, Drogba out there with Oban Duncan. I'm looking forward to this one, another 6-lap race, long and short laps coming into play. Sam Coleman said he hadn't noticed the beautiful scenery when he was in that Racebird yesterday. How can you miss it? It's everywhere you look. Oh, one moment, what's he saying here? Maybe a problem. Just about to push him away. Rusty Wyatt. Oh, there we are, okay. Clipped on, clipped in. Shove him back. And hopefully will be able to make the start.
Let's hope. He looks ready to go. Yeah, thumbs up. Let's go, guys.
Oh wait, I'm just wondering here. Has he got something behind him? You can see them waving at people behind him now. Here we go.
See, they're directing him out there because his visibility, he's obviously got nothing in the back except those tiny cameras, and with all the pleasure boats going round, he doesn't actually know what he's sort of reversing into.
He might be getting an escort as well. You just saw the jet ski there. He's going to try, yeah, little wave runner, ready to escort him out there. It's 4.25 minutes then to the start of this.
Our E1 operations team there are hopefully going to guide him out there. I wonder if he can get up on the foils and the plane to get there. Or will it use too much of the battery up? Yeah, that's an interesting one.
You've got to also feel like, yeah, I'm thinking about that. So there, I heard them say change the boost map to 9. I just wonder also, if they've been running repairs on the Racebird, it won't have been able to be plugged in. I'm sure for safety reasons.
I'm hoping they can plug it in while they're repairing it and do 2 jobs at once.
Here we go then with Rusty Wyatt just going through past the Old City walls. And it looks like we're going to have a 4 Racebird race, and I am so pleased to see that. Look at the wash behind, look at the swell, and he is actually, isn't he, pushing on a little bit here.
He's nearly up on the foils there, bless him. Come on, Rusty, we can do this.
So it looks like we're about to get our 3rd race of the day, Group Stage 1B. Glorious backdrop of Dubrovnik playing host to the racing action here. This is how they line up for the grid for Group Stage 1B, race 3 of the day. Team Brady on the inside lane. They've got priority down there with John Peters and Team Blue Rising for Virat Kohli in lane 2. Didier Drogba's squad, Owen Duncan is in the boat, and then we've just seen Rusty Wyatt make it out to the grid. Here he is, pole position yesterday, just their 3rd event for Rusty Wyatt and Team Alula. The Canadian has been superb so far this weekend here. Can he pull another rabbit out of the hat from the outside lane to his inside? Not been plain sailing for Team Drogba and Owen Duncan. Michael Wilkinson took a good 3rd place for them early on. Can Owen Duncan back it up? She can scrap with the best of them. The teenager from Scotland. Talk of scrapping, John Peters gave us 2 huge hits yesterday, both of them copping a penalty. 40 seconds added to his time, but the gloves will be off, I'm sure, down towards turn 1 for this determined powerboat racer. That's Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising in lane 2, and on the inside, the reigning world champions, Tom Brady's Team Brady and Emma Kimiläinen in the cockpit on the inside lane, and should have the run down towards turn 1. She has shown real pace in clear water this weekend. But as we've already seen this morning, Shelley, the conditions out there are anything but clear. Even if you are leading in a race out on the water here, it's still not easy because of the swell that we've got.
The swell is a real hazard to everybody. Every pilot is saying it's choppy. And then, of course, we add in the short and long lap. And we've just seen in the last 2 races, oh my goodness, how can that change the finishing procedure of these E1 Racebirds?
They're lining up. They're all ready. Rusty Wyatt, you can see on the left-hand side of your screens for Team Alula. Oban Duncan just in front of him in lane 3 for Team Drogba. John Peters in lane 2 for Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising, and Tom Brady's team. Emma Kimiläinen on the inside, up on the foils already. We are counting down to the start of this group stage race. The winner will go straight through to the final, and Oban Duncan looks like she's got it just about perfect, but here comes John Peters for Blue Rising. Who can keep it flying for longest? I think Emma Kimiläinen has done exactly the job required of her. She's kept it on the foils for long enough. She's not giving John Peters a little look at it even. He can run a wider line and force Oban Duncan out wide, but Emma Kimiläinen for Team Brady just about nailed that start. Here comes John Peters though, and he is on the boost even actually, and neck with Emma Kimiläinen out towards that second smart mark. She has the inside line. John Peters again riding the high line around the outside. Oban Duncan tucking it back inside. This is a really great start to the race. Here comes John Peters, and he's flying out of the water for Team Blue Rising. A brilliant start we've got to this race. That could have almost ended there for John Peters.
That was a great play for the inside line by Team Brady there. Emma did a great job of holding them all off. But John Peters just doesn't give up. He fights. But look at Oban on the outside. She is going to make sure that she squashes John Peters into the next corner.
We just got on the inside there, the onboard camera switching its way around. I thought we'd had another smart mark hit, but it wasn't to be. Emma Kimiläinen on the inside and on the boost. John Peters out of the final corner and on the boost. Oban Duncan switched to the inside now. If she can get on the boost as she has done here and get it flying, Oban has pulled alongside John Peters and across the line, moves up into second place, and look how smooth she is.
Oban is absolutely nailing that inside line, and of course she's on a slightly shorter course. It's only a minimal bit of distance, but look at her on the inside line, and now she's put John Peters in her dirty water.
And she's got up to second, John Peters to third. Now the question mark, who goes for the short lap now? Where's Mission Control in all of this? Who's going to take that risk? Team Brady out of the lead, just as they did with Sam Coleman early on. Oh, we've had a long lap penalty come in for Team Drogba. So Oban Duncan, not quite sure what she's done there, but already has been given a long lap penalty. She has gone for that long lap, and actually John Peters has followed her through.
And a long lap penalty for Brady as well for jumping the start.
Wow.
It didn't look like that, did it?
It didn't at all, a jump start, but it's come through. There is just as they cross the line, there's a millisecond delay between the pictures we get and the timing screen. So, Emma Kimiläinen here, having done the short lap, has work to do. She's going to have to do an extra long lap loop. And just as we heard from Aoki Racing before, from Team Miami, you've got to stay in the race because penalties will occur. And the leaders in this one, Team Brady, have a long lap penalty to take. By my calculation, you've got to go for it now, haven't you? You've got to get it out of the way because she's got 2 more to do.
Yes, I would get it out of the way because you just can't leave it to the end. Just get it done. And as she is doing very well now, there she goes, Team Brady. She's getting one of those long laps out the way. I think Drogba should do it as well. Let's see if she's going to do it.
You know, it's very interesting this point of the race because Team Alula, who were at the back of the field, suddenly come back into things. They're second on the course, but let's not forget, Team Brady and Emma Kimiläinen have another long lap to take. So, there she is. She's going to rejoin back in the lead. So that's 1 long lap done. But don't forget, she has another to take. Alula now going for the long lap. So Rusty Wyatt on the far part of the course, they can see out towards Lochran Island on the long lap. Meanwhile, Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising and John Peters, he's done his long lap, he's done his short lap, and that's him now. He's done, he's clear, and he's there in second place with another long lap for Emma Kimiläinen and Team Brady.
Yeah.
John Peters could have played a blinder here.
I think he could have done. He's like right on the trim. Look how high his trim is there.
Oban Duncan and Team Alula in Team Drogba's race bird, and Rusty Wyatt for Team Alula in the rejoin, and Team Drogba ahead of Alula. But let's not forget Oban, who looks to have it flying really well today, looks to have got good balance in that race bird. She does have another long lap to take.
Yeah, I would go and take it now if I was Drogba and get it out of the way, and then you know you can just get as much speed back, and she's got her short lap to do as well, so that could bring her back into the game.
Wow. So Emma Kimiläinen for Team Brady is in the lead of this race. However, has another long lap to take. The gap between herself and John Peters at 12 seconds, that wouldn't be enough. to reclaim the lead if she takes the long lap penalty, and she's going to have to in these remaining 2 laps to come after this one.
Well, I'd love the computer to predict who's going to win, because I'm lost.
As things happen, who's on the short lap now? Drogba. So Oban Duncan taking her short lap, bringing her back into the race here. She does have a long lap to take as well.
Look how she's gaining on Team Blue Rising. She does seem to have a little bit of extra speed on him.
It's like she's found something today, Oban Duncan. But neither her nor Michael Wilkinson looked that confident or comfortable in the boat yesterday. But today, just the way she's getting that boat up on the foils and flying and keeping it on a level is very impressive indeed. Right, across the line, what's the gap between Brady and Blue Rising? Because this is going to be crucial now. 2 laps to go in this race. When does Emma Kymäläinen take the long lap loop? Mission Control have work to do here.
I think it's got to be now.
Is she going to head out to the long lap? I think she's going to go for the standard course. She is. She's saving it right to the last lap of this race. We are going to have a grandstand finish in this group stage race. A reminder that the winners of this race go straight through to the grand finals. They go through to final 1 and final 2, and they will take also the inside lane for that first final. So this is going to be key. Emma Kymäläinen to the final corner she heads. 3 smart marks to round here, and then when we go across the line on the last lap.
See, the computer is saying that Team Brady will win and Team Blue Rising will come.
It's going to be tight. 11 seconds the lead currently. It's going to be tight. So the prediction is that Emma will stay out. Has this been a masterstroke in tactics? Because Emma has the pace. Fastest lap of the race actually going to John Peters, but Emma Kymäläinen actually has just done a 1:20.4. John Peters did a 1:20.3. What's he got on this lap? He's about to cross the line now. The gap between them, a 1:20.6 from John Peters, so 12 seconds. Is that enough? Our computer says it should be enough for Emma Kymäläinen to keep hold of the lead. There she goes. She's going out towards Lochran Island now. So she has got the long run around those 4 smart marks. Meanwhile, John Peters can head towards the inside lane through turn 2. This is going to be a tight one.
This is all to play for as they go to that finish line. I'm not going to predict who's got it.
It's going to be tight. It could well be Brady. Here we go. We've got a pinch point coming in this race. Oh, John Peters, though, his nose just dived into the water, and John Peters just squeaks ahead by the finest of margins. Now Emma Kymäläinen has a little bit of boost, trying to get the inside line down to the final corner, but John Peters, here we go, he can pull across towards that corner. He had more than a race bird length in front, behind him should I say. He gets to that smart mark, and it is Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising. Unless something happens here on the run to the line, unless something happens, he will be taking the inside lane, going straight through to the final. What a turnaround for Team Blue Rising. Brilliant stuff. Through he goes to take victory in this Group Stage 1B race. Team Brady, second across the line. Third will be Team Alula and Rusty Wyatt, and poor old Team Drogba at the end. Another long lap penalty. We've had a couple already this season. And actually the pace on the course, not too bad from Oban Duncan today. But she's going to come across the line in 4th place for Didier Drogba and Gabrielle Lemaire, who is watching on from the sidelines today. But what a drive that's been from John Peters and Team Blue Rising. Hopefully we can speak to John down there in the Team Blue Rising cockpit. Well, didn't need to be any contact today. That was strategy all the way, John. How pleased are you to take victory and go straight through to the final?
You know, that was our goal today. Go for 3-2 and then 2-1. And so, you know, I'm okay with it. I'm not really happy. We'll see what happens in the final. So that's the true test here. Is we did set ourselves up. It was pretty slow heat, so we'll probably be P2 for the evening. but we'll see. So, good start, and we'll see where it takes us today.
What's going to make you happy then, John? What is it you were missing?
I love trophies. My favorite thing about trophies is not taking them home. I'm ready to give my trophy away to somebody on the team because it brings them so much joy. I could care less, but that would make me happy. Pure and simple.
We look forward to it, John. Congratulations. That was an excellent drive. Let's have a see what Emma has to say about that one, coming home in second. Emma, second place across the line. I hope she can hear me. I think she's actually onto the team at the moment.
We might want to bear that in mind and when
Yeah, we'll leave it for a moment. She was just onto the team, and actually straight away, Shelley, trying to debrief. Because obviously that was fine margins on the start. We don't have the calculation of how fine it was for both herself and Oban Duncan, but it looked extremely tight for me.
But Emma did so well there because she had a penalty lap. Team Blue Rising didn't. So to still come in second place that close, that was a good race from her. She definitely had a massive lead. And I'm not quite sure why they were given those penalties. As you say, the clock is slightly delayed, from communication. But it looked like a real clean start to me.
It's going to be tight here, isn't it, from Team Alula? Little ferry that's heading out there.
Oh, I didn't see Alula on the inside there.
So, Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising head to the final, but John Peters will only be happy with a trophy. Will he be picking one up at the end of the day? They won the podium in Jeddah, and I wonder if they can repeat that here today. Hands over to Sarah Mizier for the final. That's coming up later on. Before that, we have got another group stage race to go. John Peters out of the cockpit, shakes hands, pat on the back from the team. A job well done for the experienced powerboat racer. There's no keeping him when there's down, is there? He was beaten up actually a little bit, Shelley, in the first corner, you have to say. He hung on to his line, but then was passed then by Oban Duncan, but kept his cool.
He certainly did. He just drove it like he stole it, as we said.
Thank you. Rusty Wyatt, having not known if he was going to make the race, being craned into the water for the start of it, has got them a place in the race-off. So that's fantastic news for them. They'll be in the race-off. And
I think Emma's
that's all he could ask for.
Probably asking there, why did I get a penalty?
Fine margins, though. They've been trying to judge it with those races yesterday, when to get on the boost, when to get it up on the foils. And if that calculation is out by a millisecond, and you run the line before the clock reaches zero, then unfortunately, that costs you a long lap penalty. It's a harsh penalty, but jumping the start is why the race director has given it both to Emma Kimmelainen for Team Brady and to Oban Duncan for Team Drogba. Pace was there though for Emma, I have to say.
Oh, well and truly, because to come in second with that penalty was amazing. They have got that race bird flying this weekend.
So that will be into the race-off for Emma Kimmelainen. Sam Coleman, of course, she hands over to next for Tom Brady's team. Straight away, get those overalls off, get cooled down. We've already had a lot of drama here in Dubrovnik, and we still have one more group race to come. Our winner of that group race just then, John Peters and Team Blue Rising.
John, what a race that was, and you pulled it off. You're heading straight to the final race. How was the race today?
It was tough. A little sloppy on my part. We had some good strategy. We pulled it through. We lost communications during the race, so all our pre-planning strategy came into play, so we knew exactly what to do. Zero stress level on that. But wait, Are you here to give me more bad news? I mean, you've done that 2 or 3 times already today.
I don't have bad news. Yeah, big penalties. I'm so sorry.
That's the way racing goes. But today we get a fresh slate, and being in one of those first 2 starting lines for the final is it's special. We've never been there. We've always fought from the outside. Earlier today, Sarah's put in position 2. We could not have done that without that. So it is a full team effort, and we got lucky. We had some things fall our way today where it didn't go our way yesterday at all. So we'll take this and move on.
The fight is not over. Were you fired up about yesterday's news? Did that put a little steam in your get-go?
Oh, that's racing to me. I'm okay with those bumps in my world, but clearly I got a stern talking to by the race director, and very respectful, but we needed to clean up those mistakes no matter what, because ultimately you can't win a race if you get a penalty, and you can't win a race if you have a broken foil. So we had to clean that up, and we did today, and we're going to go take this to the finals.
Definitely redemption. Talk about going into the finals with your teammate. Is Sarah ready?
Yeah, she's way more ready than I am. She can lock it down. So I don't know if we're going to be lane 1 or 2. We got our starts figured out now. We're 2 for 2 on those, and I think we put ourselves in a position at least to fight for that win, and we're on this European swing, and that's where one of our goals were, to take home a win. So we can check that off the box if I'm not pre-planning or anything, but let's go ahead and do it.
Well, congratulations on this win, John.
All right, thank you.
Emma?
Straight through to the final for John Peters and Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising. He hands over to Sarah Mizir next as we have a look at the replay of this race, and this is where Emma Kymäläinen, Oben Duncan, you see that yellow flag? So not until the green flag is waved that we are go in the race, and they just anticipated it. And the fact that John Peters, at less than half a boat length behind, doesn't, tells you just how fine the margin must have been. Down towards that turn 1, Emma did a great job, didn't she?
Yeah, she certainly did. She was dominating the race here at this moment, and apart from her penalty, I think she would have stomped it. She would have just flown away with it. But the penalties are there to be handed out, and they're being handed out in mass this weekend.
Yeah, that was across the start line again. You see how Rusty Wyatt almost eased off. There was the shot from on board with John Peters, just looking at the inside there, and that was when Oben Duncan came past for Team Drogba. That lap, she was right on it, was the Scot.
Fantastic camera shots. It's like somebody's actually sat on the top of the canopy with a camera looking around. What a great shot. Feels like you're on there actually racing it with them.
This was one merge between Oben Duncan for Team Drogba and Rusty Wyatt for Team Alula. And again, look how Rusty Wyatt, the nose dropped right in there. The bow was underwater.
Yeah, that's where these choppy conditions, it looks so calm out there. And it's just not. Look at this merge.
Yeah,
what
this
a
was
great race.
the crucial moment, wasn't it, where John Peters held on in front of Emma Kymäläinen. She had to take the long lap penalty. Would have won the race if not for that jump start penalty. But without it, John Peters just here was quite canny, wasn't he? Just kept a straight line, aiming for the smart mark, and gave Emma no room.
Well, Emma had to cross the line there and get out, because she was actually going to miss that red mark if she didn't. So yes, John Peters knew where she was. Mission Control told him exactly what was happening.
This is on board with Emma Kymäläinen, and just having a look now, they're trying to find the Team Blue Rising race bird. The frustration she must have felt at that moment.
Seconds that was.
You see the gritted teeth fill the fin. She is one hard racer. Not quite able to keep ahead, but her pace showed Team Brady will be strong when they go off in that race off later on this afternoon. So second place, despite that long lap penalty for Emma Kymäläinen, she's down there with Taylor in the launch zone.
Emma, you've just come out of that race for Team Brady, and unfortunately you did receive that penalty for jumping the start, but how hard is it to see that start line?
Well, we don't have a visual start line to start with, so it's very difficult because we reference it to the buoys, And obviously we're on water and the buoys can be moving. So we don't have a visual line that can be shown on a race view or on the TV screen or whatever. So we don't see that. And we're just trying to be there kind of on time, like promptly. And I really need to review that because I thought completely that I didn't jump the start at all, that it was a perfect one. So yeah, a lot of research to do there, I guess.
Well done.
Yeah.
Fine margins.
Yeah. Sam, tell me a little bit about that race. Obviously, it's very exciting. You had some great success. So there's lots of teamwork going on here.
Yeah, we'll reevaluate. We've got to push the limits. Everybody's fast, so we want a good start, and it was very, very marginal to be in a jump start. So super frustrating from us, and Emma very nearly built a big enough gap to take the penalty anyway. So it was a great drive regardless in the conditions.
Yeah. Definitely had great pace out there. What's your secret to being so fast?
We've been actually struggling quite a lot, and it wasn't easy for the first 2 laps. I had completely, wrong setup in the boat, and then trying to find a good one that runs well for me and all of that. So that took a little bit of time. Very rough conditions as well. Like the swells are crazy. Actually, it doesn't look like that on the TV screen, but they are big ones. And then once the race bird wants to kind of glide on top of it, and then it just wants to come down, and it's like super tough on it. So yeah, he's getting bruises to his back because of the right hard jumping. So yeah, I'm more cushioned. So naturally as a female.
All right. Well, you guys are headed to the race off next. I wish you all the best of luck. The confidence getting to the finals.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bit of fun there for Team Brady between Emma and Sam Coleman. So this is how we ended that Group Stage 1B race with John Peters for Team Blue Rising heading straight to the final as the winner. Despite that penalty, Emma Kymäläinen, second place, very strong drivers, Sam said. And they will line up in the second lane for the race off alongside Rusty Wyatt, it will be Katie Munnings and Team Alula. And unfortunately for Team Drogba and Oban Duncan, they go straight to the place race. No chance now of getting into the final as the boats start to head out for our next group stage race, which is just a couple of minutes away. Here's the grid then for our final group stage race of the day. After this, we're into the race-offs and the grand finals. Aoki Racing will have the inside line here with Danny Kloss, Lucas Ordóñez for Westbrook Racing, Marcelo Claure's Team Brazil with Timmy Hansen in the cockpit, then Mark Anthony's Team Miami and Rafael Nadal's squad on the outside. And that was down to a 40-second penalty earlier for Tom Schaap's teammate Cristina Lasaraga. But what we have seen, Tom Schaap, even though he starts on the outside, has been the fastest pilot of the weekend. Can he do the same from the outside lane in this final group stage race? It should be a cracker because on his inside he's got a hugely experienced powerboat racer and world champion in Eric Stark. He's going to be in lane 4 for Team Miami. In the middle of them all, Rallycross star Timmy Hansen, now an E1 start for Marcelo Claure's Team Brazil. Who's going to nail the start? He was brilliant yesterday, I have to say, in the qualifying races. Can he do more of the same today? And then Lucas Ordóñez picks up from Sarah Price's great performance earlier. And he will start from that second lane. Doesn't feel he's necessarily got the setup that he requires to be fast, but he's a racer. Can he elbow his way to the front ahead of his compatriot Danny Kloss, who is inside the race bird for Aoki Racing? They've had 2 podiums to start the year, including victory in Jeddah, second in the championship, and with Team Rafa on the outside, are they going to kick Team Rafa while they're down? We're about to find out. This is the course they will take on. Shelley, we're learning more and more. The start, crossing the line, judging it right and heading to turn 1, not as easy as it looks.
It's very hard and it's absolutely crucial to dominate the race. You then have to take 1 short lap and 1 long lap during the race. They are crucial, but if you're given a long lap penalty as well for misbehaving, it's a dynamic end.
There is our finish in front of the Ocean Club. Watching on, here we go then. Countdown is on, bottom left of your screens. We are counting to the start of our final group stage race. They're getting closer and closer to the start line. Is anyone going to anticipate it on this occasion? Looks good. Green flag is waved now. They should be okay. Team Miami, Eric Stark was up on the foils but dropped just across the line. And Lucas Ordóñez has absolutely nailed it for Westbrook Racing. A cut across again from Team Miami and Eric Stark in front of Team Brazil. But it's going to be Lucas Ordóñez. And look at Tom Schaap right on the outside lane. So Ordóñez for Westbrook Racing takes the lead. And Tom Schaap from lane 5 into second place.
Well, he's got a lot to gain back now after the performance just now with poor Chris, who, look at him take, nice corner from there from Team Rafa. He just dug that foil in
and instantly
glided it round.
Tries to get out of the wash, didn't he? He did that at the start and he cuts now to the left-hand side. We're on board here. As Aoki Racing, Danny Kloss on the inside. That's Timmy Hansen. We're going to get contact. Something flew off the side of one of the race birds then. There was contact. Aoki Racing have gone from first to last. And meanwhile, Team Rafa have gone from last to second and will pile the pressure on because Tom Schaap has pace. Here we go again. Timmy Hansen in the yellow Team Brazil boat. Danny Kloss on the pink Team Aoki Racing Racebird, and around the outside for Danny Kloss, and he has regained the position again.
It's neck and neck with Aoki and Brazil. We have seen this before, and here they are battling again. I'm not sure that somebody pushed Brazil out in that start. They did seem to take a little bit of their lane. I'm not sure if a penalty is going to fly.
Eric Stark then was right on the rear wing of Team Rafa. He's had a really good run down the straight there, and even Danny Kloss is coming back into this now. Rafa in second place, but under pressure now. Well, Tom Schaap, I thought he got such a great start to the race, as now Danny Kloss and Aoki Racing in the lead. Lucas Ordóñez takes the short lap. Danny Kloss has switched for that short lap as well. Wow, so they're going to go for that. This race is going to be a tough one to call. Long lap coming in from Eric Stark and Team Miami. Everyone's going in different directions, Shelley.
We've got long laps, we've got short laps. Good move by Aoki. I think that's a great move there to do that short lap now, because he's not in very much dirty water behind Westbrook. That's a good shot there.
Well, having been fifth at one moment on that opening lap, now Danny Kloss and Aoki Racing find themselves in second spot. But there'll be people looking at a couple of moves on that opening lap. As you head down towards turn 1, the little collision with Team Brazil as well, between Aoki Racing and Brazil.
Yeah, we've got no penalties thrown yet, so let's hope it's all a clean race for them all.
Danny Kloss across the line. They're closing the gap 6 seconds to Lucas Ordóñez in front. There we are on board now with the beautifully turned out Aoki Racing Racebird in second place. Team Rafa, meanwhile, in third across the line. A 1:22 from Tom Schaap. Bearing in mind, he did a 1:11 on the normal course yesterday. Just shows how choppy it is once you get in another Racebird's wash. Standard lap for Westbrook Racing, standard lap for Aoki, and it looks like being a standard lap for Team Rafa as well in third.
Now, if I was Brazil, I think I would take my long lap right now and get it done, but let's see what she does.
So Timmy Hansen it is in Team Brazil's race, but it looks like is about to go and do that right on cue. You called it, Shelley, and through Team Brazil goes. And to take their long lap. Now, Team Miami at the back have also already done their long lap. At the front, it's getting close, you know. Very tight between Westbrook and Aoki. Lucas Ordóñez did say he didn't feel like he had the setup to compete as Timmy Hansen comes around the long lap loop. Across the line here, it is going to be neck and neck between Westbrook Racing and Aoki Racing. We're on board with Team Brazil. There you can see Aoki have closed in on Westbrook. It was 6 seconds at the start of this lap. It's down to 2 seconds gap between them.
Now, one of those two need to do the long lap. If I was Aoki, I would do my long lap now, so that he then got a chance to, we know he's coming neck and neck with Westbrook.
So he's going to have to take a wider line, of course, but will Danny Kloss now with Aoki Racing, will he go on that long lap and try and find some clean water in front of him I'm not quite sure if he's going to do that because he's pulling alongside. He has got so much more drive.
Yeah, no, if you're alongside somebody, you've got to stay in the battle and keep ahead of him. Now he's got some room to get some space.
And he has taken the lead of this race, Danny Kloss for Aoki Racing. It forced Lucas Ordóñez. He was launched into the air as he hit the wake. And look at Team Rafa have done the short lap. We've got 3 boats within, well, you can chuck a blanket over them at the moment. It has got tight once more at the front. But out front, Danny Kloss for Aoki Racing is leading. Team Rafa in second with Tom Schaap. And then in third, Lucas Ordóñez. All of them have taken the short lap. None of them yet have done the long lap, as Timmy Hansen, who has done the long lap, comes through the short lap in 4th place. We have still got a race on our hands here.
100% now. Will Aoki just gain as much space as he can between his competitors behind him, so he's got that time for the long lap?
You can hear now Danny Kloss, I think he was saying, someone behind me, is someone behind me, asking his mission control to give him that information. Yes, Tom Schaap is just about in your wake now as they go through the first smart mark. It's Aoki Racing and Danny Kloss. Second place is Tom Schaap and Team Rafa. Is he going for the long lap? He's gone for the clean water. Just have a look how he's not in that white wash behind Danny Kloss, and he's going for the long lap loop here, Shelley. So Team Rafa still, again, could have a chance to win this race. They started on the outside, but they are still in the mix.
This is going to be between Rafa Aoki. Who is going to make it? Aoki's just got to get ahead now as much as he can to give him space to do that long lap, to stay in the lead.
So Will Smith's Westbrook Racing will regain second place in this race, but I will remind you, still has a long lap to do. It does look like that Westbrook Racing boat hasn't got the drive in the same way that Aoki and Team Rafa have. We heard it from Lucas Ordóñez, didn't feel they made the right prop choice, and unfortunately, you just, by that calculation there, you could see, calculation is that once he does his long lap, he will actually rejoin back in third. It might be 4th because Timmy Hansen is motoring.
Well, the computer says Aoki is still going to win, but we actually proved the computer wrong last time, so...
we're going to see now, aren't we, across the line. Danny Kloss crosses the line now. He has to take the long lap on this last go-around. Team Rafa and Tom Schaap crosses the line. What's the gap? 18 seconds? That should be enough. Should be enough for Danny Kloss and Aoki Racing to go straight through to the final. Reminder, the winner to the final, last place, go to the place race. The other 3 will be into our race-off as we go round the long lap loop for the final time with Aoki Racing. He will be followed through there by Lucas Ordóñez for Westbrook Racing. On our virtual map, you can see Team Rafa will take the standard lap, but he's not going to be there in enough time to get in ahead of Danny Kloss. I will remind you, on the opening lap of this race, Danny Kloss for Aoki Racing was dead last and now finds himself leading this race by a comfortable margin. Team Rafa do claim second place ahead of Westbrook Racing. Brazil are going to rejoin just behind Miami, it looks like. Oh, Eric Stark has made up a lot of ground in this race now. And actually, for Team Miami, as Eric Stark got ahead of Westbrook Racing, here comes the Iceman himself, Lucas Ordóñez to the inside. We've got more contact. Oh, wing to wing they go. And he forces there, Lucas Ordóñez. Eric Stark goes up the high line. Doesn't matter at the front as Danny Kloss takes victory for Aoki Racing. There's going to be a real scrap on to the line between Westbrook and Miami. Team Rafa will go to the race-off. They will be on the inside lane for that one. But who will come across in 3rd and 4th place? Team Brazil's coming as well. And just Lucas Ordóñez sneaks it ahead of Eric Stark and Team Miami. Timmy Hansen and Team Brazil in last place. Wow, what a breathless finish to that race.
That was amazing finish.
So Aoki Racing have taken victory. And it was Danny Kloss who took the victory in that one. Danny, you were dead last on that opening lap, and through strategies, through some brilliant racing as well, you've taken victory and gone straight through to the final. How does it feel?
Wow. Wow, that was a good one, right? Yeah, happy with the performance. Yeah, we had a very tough first lap. I mean, I was in the middle of nowhere, too much water, I couldn't see. Sometimes I was blinded trying to overtake. We had very nice moves with Brazil, Miami, and Westbrook. And finally, between that overtaking and strategy, it was mega. Thank you. My team is the best. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations, Danny. Well done. He'll bring it back now to the launch zone, and from that he will put Michel Alabadan into lane 2 for the final, so they go straight through Aoki Racing. More big points coming for Steve Aoki's squad here this weekend. Let's have a see now if you can speak to Tom for Team Rafa. Tom, from the outside lane there, brilliant first corner as well, but then so much strategy, so many tactics having to come into play. How did you read that race?
Yeah, of course, starting from the back was a bit difficult, but yeah, with the team we managed to recover the situation and to take a really good start and a good first corner. So after it was a tough racing with Danny, so yeah, it was close, but now we have to be focused for the going to final. Let's go.
Great job, Tom. He heads into the race off, and Cristina Lasaraga, who was so quick in her group race earlier, got the huge penalty. She will be on the inside lane for that race off. This is how the race unfolded, Shelley, and once again it looked like Team Miami here had the run down towards the first corner, but that drop off the foils cost Eric Stark massively.
Yeah, and he just didn't seem to keep the speed up. Look at Westbrook, they just glided away, and Team Miami just haven't got the power this weekend.
They will go into the race off. This is the contact that we were on about there with Danny Kloss and Aoki Racing. The inside line alongside Timmy Hansen. Yeah, turned in a little bit there, didn't he?
Something definitely flew off there. You were right, you were quick to see that.
This was the other rejoin for Tom Schaap, and Team Rafa was hoping to sneak through on the short lap, but not to be. Westbrook Racing, great start, and we thought maybe things have turned around. They are still in the mix, they're still in the race-off, still with a chance to get through to the final, but didn't quite have the pace.
Aoki there was really rocking and rolling and losing some balance, but very quickly recovered there, Danny. Great drive.
I've been doing it with his sunglasses on as well, down there. Another great performance from Danny Kloss. A win in Jeddah, second in Doha, and they are right in the mix here in Dubrovnik in Croatia. Victorious in the second and final of the group stages and heading through to the final. Rafa, Westbrook, Miami all in the race-off, and unfortunately for Team Brazil, another spot in the place race. They've had a little bit of misfortune so far this season. Team Brazil, still a lot more races to come this year. Down in the launch zone, everyone making it back, canopies off, some fresh air into those cockpits. Now straight on the chargers, ready for our race off and then for our final races. I love the way it starts building up the anticipation for the big events coming.
We've still got our canoeists out there with their front row seats. I love that. That's perfect.
You called these pirates earlier?
Pirates, yes. To me, it's the pirate boat. Isn't it to you?
They've not got their hands on the trophy. Will be handed out. So we have the rest of our day in front of us now. Still 4 more races to come here in Dubrovnik. It's been a brilliant spectacle, a brilliant day's racing so far, and yet more to come. We've got our race off with Team Brady, Team Rafa, LeBron James, Team Alula, Will Smith's Westbrook Racing and Team Miami in that race-off. The top 3 in that race-off will go through to join Blue Rising and Aoki Racing in the finals. The bottom 2 in the race-off will go out in the place race with Team Brazil and Team Drogba. Contact, we've had penalties, we've had drama throughout, and yet more to come here in Dubrovnik. Round 3 of the UIM E1 World Championship presented by PIF. Good to see the sportsmanship between 4 experienced racers there. How good is that to see? And there'll be more battles to come as our racing day continues here in Croatia. On the left, Lucas Ordóñez. Next to him was Eric Stark, Tom Schaap with his back to us. Danny Kloss down there, debriefing that final group stage race. 28.8 degrees, the average temperature 25. It's hotter than average then, shall we say. Nearly 29 degrees out there, not too much wind either. It seems to be dropping actually from where it was, as predicted by our people on the ground down there. Fans required up in the Ocean Club because we've had some hot action out on the racetrack, Shelley.
Yeah, I need a fan because we've had some dramatic racing this morning. My goodness, we've had it all over the place, and some real fights for the lines, some real slick manoeuvring from others. But yeah, and some great calculated risk-taking from the team, from mission control down to the pilots of when to take that short lap and long lap. And it is so crucial. And it's also crucial to actually remember to take them at all.
Unpredictable, isn't it?
It's very unpredictable. And I would love to be a fly on the wall at the moment in Team Rafa.
Well, you have to say Tom Schaap has recovered there from, you know, the communications problems they had earlier today, and up to Cristina Lasaraga now, isn't it, to put those things behind her, because she's got prime spot now. She'll be on the inside, very good chance of making the final. If she repeats the race that she did, just without that transgression across the line, she will take Team Rafa to the final.
She's a professional all round, and I hope she's sitting down somewhere, calming herself, maybe a cup of tea, and she'll be back out to fight another day. I know she will. She's a very good racer, very motivated.
So as everyone's enjoying the beautiful coastline here on the Adriatic. Stunning scenery, isn't it? Great picture postcard of here in Croatia, a bit of local culture as well, up in the Ocean Club. Before you think of it, no, I'm not capable of doing that. I know, Shelley, you wanted to get me up, get dancing. I'm not going to partake. 2 left feet here.
Wow, I think it's gorgeous. The colours are just beautiful. I bet they're warm.
Yep. T-shirt and shorts for me, not a full waistcoat and hat.
I think we should have a go, Gavin, should we? Should we think we can
let's just leave it.
Oh,
leave
okay.
it right there. Oh, I think I've got those shoes though.
I think we should get Taylor up there.
Yeah,
she needs to have a go. I want to go on the pirate ship, personally. I want to go right up the top to the crow's nest.
You know, what an advert it is for Croatia, this event. Put on a great show, I have to say. The racing action has accompanied it. And don't forget, we have so much more still to come. 4 more races for you, including the race-off.
This is such a tranquil setting, so calm, and then the E1 race boats go out, and it's just like, oh my goodness, wow, wow, wow. Beautiful azimuth super yacht there, entertaining, I think it's Team Miami who are being entertained on there, I believe. Very nice.
One of the sponsors, it's not a bad place to be, is it? Out on the water. Great view of the racing action. There, that other Small little boat, anchored up.
I think they believe we call the yacht so that's a 4-masted clipper ship, if I'm correct, but prove me wrong.
You know what? I wouldn't know what to say. It's like a boat. That one sails and that one's some big engines, I expect.
You've got that right.
Entertainment galore then everywhere you look, not just on the race course.
There's really something for everyone at an E1 race, isn't it? We've got the glamour, we've got the food, the entertainment, we've got the racing, we've got the, it's just fantastic.
So this is how we've got to the final. In the group stage races, Blue Rising and Aoki won those. And then in the race-off, Team Rafa will take the inside lane with Team Brady and Team Alula alongside. Westbrook Racing will be in it with Team Miami. We've come in the back door. In the race-off, the top 3 will go through to the finals. The bottom 2 join up for the place race. That will decide 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Of course, in the finals, we have 2 races. The first will decide the positions for our final 2, the grand final, the culminating point of the weekend when the points are decided and the trophies are handed out. And Shelley, at some point today, you're going to have to pick your pilot of the race. There have been a few already, haven't there, today? There's so much action out on the course.
I mean, which race? Where do I start? I've got a long list at the moment.
Right, so as the tourist boats make their way in and out of the marina, the medieval walls of the Old Town sit there waiting for the rest of our racing action. Next up on the programme, we'll have our race-off here at the E1 Dubrovnik GP.